Hello, everyone. Today, I'd like to talk about how to use the e-submission service to complete and submit the e-form for Working Family Allowance Scheme, WFA in short. Before that, if you want to know about the details and latest information of WFA, please watch the video titled Introduction to the Working Family Allowance Scheme. If you would like to apply for WFA, you need to fill in the application form and submit documentary proof. If you want to use the fastest and most convenient way to submit WFA application, certainly the method is to use the e-submission service to complete and submit the e-form online. Do you want to know the advantages of e-submission? Let me introduce them to you. First, if you have been approved with WFA before and registered an iAmSmart account, you can obtain an e-pre-filled form from the e-submission service. This form is pre-filled with the basic information of you and your household members, according to your last successful application. You can fill in the information directly on this e-pre-filled form for the new application and upload the documentary proof instantly. If you have registered or upgraded to an iAmSmart Plus, you can also digitally sign the application form and submit the application immediately. Also, you can view the information of the latest processed and processing application within the past 2 years at any time. For example, the claim period and result of the last application. You can also check the information of the case officer, view messages related to the application, and submit review or appeal application. To use such convenient e-submission service, all you need is to register for an iAmSmart account. If you have not yet registered, you can scan the QR code on the screen with your mobile phone and complete the registration process by following the instructions. If you want to digitally sign the WFA application form and submit the application online instantly, you need to have an iAmSmart Plus. You can visit self-registration kiosks or registration service counters in various districts or mobile registration teams for free registration or upgrade to iAmSmart Plus. For details of iAmSmart Plus, please visit the following website or scan the QR code on the screen with your mobile phone. Okay, let's use the e-submission service together. For the website of the service, please refer to the QR code on the screen. On the landing page, you will see the relevant information of the WFA scheme. To start applying for WFA, please click the green button, Log in with iAmSmart, to log in the WFA e-submission service. You need to open the iAmSmart app on your mobile phone for authentication. After login, you can click Fill in a new form at the bottom left corner of the home page to start filling in the application information. If you have been approved with WFA before, the system has already prepared an e-pre-filled form, which is pre-filled with basic information of you and your household members. The system will ask you if you choose to use this pre-filled form. You can click Yes to use the e-pre-filled form in the Pre-fill application pop-up, and then start completing a new application. The WFA e-form mainly covers 3 sections, including personal particulars of the household applying for WFA, information on working hours, income and assets of the household, as well as applicant's declaration. Section 1. Personal particulars of the household. First, you will see the introduction page. Applicants should carefully read the content of Personal Information Collection Statement on the introduction page. Then, there is a checklist for submission of documents for application. Here, you will see the documentary proofs that need to be submitted, and you can choose the appropriate other forms and load them into the e-form. If you find that you have not chosen the appropriate other forms while filling in other parts of the form, you can go back to this section to choose the other forms again at any time. You can click Next to go to the next page after completing each step. You can click Save at the bottom of the page to temporarily save the filled information during form filling if needed. Then, you can click Continue with a saved form on the home page to continue form filling. However, please note that the saved information in the e-submission service will only be stored for 30 days for applicant using IamSmart. It will then be removed. Next, to fill in the basic particulars of household. If you have chosen to use the e-pre-filled form to fill in the application information, the basic information of the household has been extracted from the last successful application to the e-form. Please check carefully if the pre-filled information is still applicable. If the information has been changed, please update the relevant information direct. Besides, if you are a new applicant, you can use the e-Me function of IamSmart to authorize the auto form filling of some personal information in the e-form. The system will automatically input the claim period of WFA application according to the time that you fill in the e-form. That is, the immediate past 6 months before the submission of the application. In other words, if you want to apply for WFA for the period from January to June this year, you must submit your application within July this year, and so on. Please note that if you meet the eligibility criteria in certain months during the claim period only, you may still submit an application. Here, please fill in the number of household members, including the applicant, in the last month of the claim period. Household members refer to persons living with the applicant on the same premises in Hong Kong and having close economic ties. This normally includes husband and wife and those who live on the same premises and share or are obliged to share the provisions for a living. A person living alone may also apply for WFA. If household members are temporarily not living on the same premises, such as leaving Hong Kong for study or work, but would reasonably be expected to return to live together, they would be regarded as household members. If there are any changes in the number of household members during the claim period, the applicant has to report the concerned months and details here. For example, a household was originally comprised of the applicant, his wife, their son, and daughter. But a son was born during the claim period. So the concerned month must be specified, and the birth of the son must be stated in the field under Details. In addition, if a household member moved out from the household during the claim period, you need to fill in the concerned month and details in this part, and provide the member's personal particulars in the latter part of the application form. Next is to fill in basic information, such as residential address, contact phone number, etc. If you are a new applicant and have not used the eMe function of I Am Smart, you need to input the information and then upload the relevant residential proof. The next step is to fill in personal particulars of applicant and all household members. If you have chosen e-pre-filled form to fill in the application information, the basic information of you and your household members will be extracted from the last successful application to the e-form. However, if this is your first application, you need to fill in the personal particulars, including name, Hong Kong ID card number, etc., and also upload the identity proof. For single-parent households, that is, a single working parent, including guardian, living with at least one child aged below 15, the working hour requirements for DFA application are lower. So, if you are applying as a single parent, remember to click Yes under Question 7 and specify your marital status. You are also required to upload single-parent identity proof in this part. After that, fill in the applicant's bank account information and number. The bank code and account number can be found on the monthly bank statement or passbook. Please note that the applicant must be the account holder. Time deposit account, credit account, or foreign currency account cannot be used as the bank account for receiving DFA. If this is your first application for DFA, or you would like to change the bank account for receiving DFA in this round of application, please also upload the relevant bank account proof. The system will expand the corresponding number of fields according to the number of household members that you have input for filling in the personal particulars of all household members, including their names, relationships with the applicant, Hong Kong ID card numbers, year, and month of birth. If you have never submitted the identity proof of these household members, please upload their identity proof here. If Others is selected when filling in the relationship with the applicant, please specify the relationship of the household member with the applicant. If the household has a child aged below 15 or aged between 15 and 21, receiving full-time non-post-secondary education, including full-time secondary and primary school, excluding evening school courses, EGEN Diploma Program, Foundation Diploma Programs, and Diploma of Vocational Education Programs of the Vocational Training Council, etc. Each child may also receive a child allowance. If your household has children eligible for a child allowance, please make sure that you complete questions 6 and 7. you must fill in the birth certificate numbers of the children. If the child does not hold Hong Kong birth certificate or Hong Kong ID card, other documentary proof must be provided. For examples, one-way permit, re-entry permit, certificate of entitlement, passport with the relevant endorsement and landing slip, etc. Section 2. Information on working hours, income and assets of the household. This part is to fill in the income from work and paid working hours of the applicant or household members whose paid working hours are aggregated to apply for WFA. You need to report the income from work and paid working hours of you and your household members whose paid working hours are aggregated to apply for WFA in the e-form. First, choose your name or that of your household member, and then input the job details, including employment status, industry, position, name, and phone number of the company or employer, monthly income from work, and monthly paid working hours, etc. Then, upload the relevant working hours and income proof. Monthly income from work refers to the income after deducting the employee's mandatory contribution of Mandatory Provident Fund, that is, MPF, or Provident Fund. For example, if the salary is $10,000, after deducting 5% mandatory MPF contribution, which is $500, $9,500 shall be filled in as the monthly income. If the income from work of other claim months remain unchanged, you can click Copy to Other Months button, and the system will automatically copy the monthly income from work to other claim months for you. You should fill in the working hours too. If the working hours of other claim months remain unchanged, you can click Copy to Other Months button, and the system will automatically copy the monthly working hours to other claim months for you. Please note that the working hours of all household members are aggregated under the WFA scheme. If it is required to aggregate the working hours of more household members, you may click Add a Detail to expand the field and then continue to input the name of the member, job details, income from work, and paid working hours, etc. If the applicant or household member whose paid working hours are aggregated is an employee with the paid working hours specified in a contract or agreement with the employer, only one set of documents reflecting or proving the agreement with the employer for the relevant claim months, for example, the employment contract, has to be provided, and there is no need to submit the proof of working hours on a monthly basis. If the same weekly working hours is stipulated in the contract or agreement, the monthly working hours can be calculated by multiplying the number by 4.4 weeks. If the working hours are not specified in the contract or agreement with the employer, or the applicant or household members whose working hours are aggregated are self-employed, the monthly working hours can be calculated based on the actual paid working hours for each month. And documentary proof of working hours should be provided on a monthly basis. In addition, employees can submit the Form for Reporting the Working Hours Derived from Paid Absence, WFA 004B, to report the working hours derived from paid absence. The total monthly paid working hours is the sum of the paid working hours of all household members, including the applicant, who report working hours. For example, the monthly working hours of the applicant and his wife are 144 hours and 50 hours respectively. So, the total monthly working hours are 194 hours. The system will automatically calculate the total monthly working hours according to the information you have input, and you do not need to input the numbers. If the total number of working hours reported exceeds 192 hours, the household is already eligible for higher allowance. Even if there are other working household members, there is no need to report their working hours. For example, the total working hours of an applicant and his wife have already exceeded 192 hours. Even if the applicant's sister is a household member and has paid work, there is no need to provide her working hours here. But please note that her relevant income still has to be reported. Please note that you may report more than one paid jobs in the same month, including full-time and part-time jobs. In addition, if you are unemployed in some months, you may leave the relevant fields blank and still submit an application. Based on the information provided by the applicant, Working Family Allowance Office will assess whether the household is eligible for the allowance and calculate the amount of allowance to be dispersed on a monthly basis. You must submit documentary proof of working hours and income. For documentary proof of working hours, supporting documents generally include employment contracts, pay slips, or attendance records showing the working hours, etc. For documentary proof of income from work, supporting documents generally include pay slips, salary receipts, bank passbooks, or monthly statements showing the salaries. If you do not have the documents just mentioned, the following WFA supplementary forms can be used to declare working hours and income. If you are employed by a fixed employer, you may ask your employer to fill in the Employer Certification WFA 008B form to report your income, working hours, paid absence, and other information. The employer or the company's responsible person must sign the form and stamp it with the company CHOP. You may then scan or take photo of the documentary proof and upload it. If you are a self-employed person who runs a business or provides services, you may submit documentary proof, including receipts for providing services, notices of personal assessment issued by the Inland Revenue Department, profit and loss accounting statements verified by a certified public accountant, etc. If you are not able to provide these documents, you may fill in the Statement on Work and Profit and Loss accounting statement for self-employed person running business or providing services, WFA 005B. To report your work record, total income, total expenditure, net profit, and other information to be submitted together with the relevant documentary proof of the income and expenditure items, such as purchase orders, sales invoices, rental receipts, etc. If you are a driver of taxi, lorry, minibus, or other commercial vehicles, you may fill in the form WFA 006B to report your work record, total income, total expense, net profit, etc., to be submitted together with the documentary proof of income and expenditure, such as vehicle rental contracts and fuel charge receipts, etc. If you are a casual worker or providing services, but are unable to provide documentary proof of working hours or income, you may fill in Form WFA 007B to report the details of each job during the claim period and list the reasons for not being able to provide documentary proof. Please submit together any other documentary proof relating to the reported jobs, such as receipts for remuneration received, green cards, licenses, etc. Besides, you can go back to the checklist for submission of documents for application page to choose the appropriate other forms at any time. Next step is to fill in the information on household income. Apart from the income from work that is used for reporting working hours, you should also fill in your income information and that of all household members. However, there is no need to report here the income that has already been reported in the preceding part. Household income includes all wages after deducting employees' mandatory contributions to the MPF, fee for services provided, allowances, tips, profits from business for the self-employed, rental income, alimony received, and contributions from relatives or friends not residing with the same household, etc. More examples are shown in Guidance Notes for Application under the WFA Scheme at the WFA's website. When filling in the information on household income, you can choose your name or that of your household member and input the income items and the amount of income. Then upload the relevant income proof. If you require to input more than one information, you may click Add a Detail to expand the field and then continue to input the information. Next step is to fill in information on household asset. For filling in the information on household assets, you must report all your assets and those of your household members within and outside Hong Kong as in the last month of the claim period, such as bank deposits, cash value and dividends of insurance policies, investments, land, properties, taxi or public light bus licenses, and the accrued benefits that have been withdrawn or could be withdrawn from the MPF or Provident funds, betting account balance, loans that have yet to be recovered, etc. More examples are shown in the Guidance Notes for Applications under the WFA Scheme at the WFA's website. Please note that one self-occupied property can be exempted from the calculation for each household. When filling in the information on household assets, you may choose your name or that of your household member and input the information, such as the asset items, the dates of valuation, values, etc. Then upload the asset proof. If you require to input more than one information, you may click Add a Detail to expand the field and then continue to input the information. For a jointly owned asset, please provide the percentage of share. Here is an example. The applicant and his wife held a joint deposit account with a balance of $40,000. with each holding $20,000, that is, 50%. Hence, the value of this joint account to be reported should be $40,000. And the percentage of share should be 50% for both applicant and his wife. If the assets are not enumerated in Hong Kong dollars, please specify the currency. If the assets include life savings insurance, you should provide the settlement date, the cash value, and dividends of the policy. If the settlement date of the annual statement is not the last month of the claim period, the value on the settlement day of the annual statement should be reported. Values to be reported include dividends and the accumulated amount that the policyholder can get when the policy is surrendered. Assets also include Jockey Club betting account and stocks. You should indicate the balance of the betting account and the value of the stocks. In addition, if you have a safe deposit box, you should report the items inside and their values. You can fill in more information. For example, name of bank or insurance company for the selected asset item in the additional input box, which expanded automatically by the system under the asset item if in need. As a general rule, the date of valuation of assets should be in the last month of claim period. If the information on the value of individual asset items in the last month is not available, please fill in the latest available value of the asset items. If the total monthly assets exceeded the asset limit in the last month of the claim period, the asset value of the previous month must be reported, so on and so forth. Section 3. Applicant's Declaration. Declaration on income and asset. The applicant should declare whether the applicant and all household members have reported all income from employment, other income, and assets. If not all income and assets have been reported, you should provide the relevant information as soon as possible. Otherwise, the Working Family Allowance Office would be unable to process the application. You should click to indicate whether the total asset value of the household exceeded the asset limit of the WFA scheme during the entire claim period. If so, specify the months in which the asset limit was exceeded. Declaration by applicant. Applicants should also read the declaration by applicant, then confirm to have read and agreed to the content of the declaration. The declaration includes that you and all household members have read the WFA guidance notes and personal information collection statement, while all information provided in the application form, supplementary sheets and supplementary forms, as well as any representations made in relation to this application, and all documentary proofs submitted are true, complete, and accurate. You and your household members should understand that willfully making a false statement, misrepresentation, or concealment of any information in order to obtain WFA by deception is a criminal offense. Applicant's signature. You should check all the input information before submitting the application. You can go back to the relevant section to amend the information if needed. After that, you need to choose the sign method. If you want to digitally sign the declaration and supplementary forms, you may choose eCert in the sign box, or if you have registered for iAmSmart Plus, you may use iAmSmart Plus for digital signing. After signing by eCert or iAmSmart Plus, the orange triangles in the left column of the eForm will change into purple, which indicates that you have digital signed the eForm. However, after that, you still need to click Submit to complete the submission of application. If you want to receive an acknowledgement email, you may provide the email address here. At the same time, if you want to use password to encrypt this acknowledgement, you may set the password here. After clicking Submit and then Confirm here, if the acknowledgement page with wording Submission Successful appears and shows the transaction reference number, which begins with WFA 101, it means that you have completed submission of the eForm. If you do not have iAmSmart Plus or eCert, you need to manually sign the declaration and supplementary forms. You may choose Print and Sign on Filled PDF in the sign box, and fill in the email address and password if needed. After clicking Submit and then Confirm to submit the eForm, if you want to submit the manually signed declaration and supplementary forms online immediately, you can click Download and Print Declaration, Supplementary Forms, Application Summary on the acknowledgement page to download a file in PDF format, which contains a transaction reference number and filled information. After that, you may print and sign the declaration and supplementary forms of the file. Scan or take photo of them, and then click Submit Signed Declaration and/or Supplementary Documents to upload and submit the documents. If you want to submit the declaration and supplementary forms online later, you may also choose to click Submit Signed Declaration and/or Supplementary Documents on the landing page of the e-submission service. For the website of the landing page, please refer to the QR code on the screen, or log in iAmSmart account and choose the relevant application number or transaction reference number on the home page. Then click Submit Documents, Amend Application Information on the Application Details page to submit signed declaration and supplementary forms. Besides, you may also submit the signed declaration and supplementary forms by post, in person, or by using drop-in boxes of Working Family Allowance Office. Please note that if not all the documentary proofs are ready by the application submission deadline, you may first submit the eForm and the documentary proof that are ready, and submit the remaining documents later. Afterwards, you can use iAmSmart to log in the e-submission service. Then choose the relevant WFA application number or transaction reference number on the home page, and click Submit Documents, Amend Application Information on the Application Details page for submitting supplementary documents. For other inquiries, you can scan the QR code on the screen to browse the WFA's website at wfa.gov.hk or call 2558 3000.